Brian, they were calling this the fight of the year. How would you characterize it?
Oh, yeah, it was an epic. There's no question. I mean, rounds 2, 3, and 4, I'd put up against Hagler-Hearns 1, 2, and 3. It was that good. And I would say after watching round 1, I wonder how many people would have bet on Manny Pacquiao. Not too many. Cotto came out, was boxing, was pushing Manny Pacquiao back, and then it was fast and furious for 3 epic, caveman-like rounds.
At what point in time did you think this fight was turning?
Round 6 was when Pacquiao went from retreating to advancing, and it was just advance and punish from there. That's where things started to slow down. But, again, rounds 2, 3, and 4 are far more epic and nuanced than the scoring system allows. So to say it was a 10-9 round or a 10-8 round, and I scored all 3 for Pacquiao, and I think you have to give those second 2 rounds to 10-8. But Cotto was landing hard shots in those rounds. And again, Cotto early on was boxing well. He looked fast. He did not look like the damaged remnants of the guy who was in the Antonio Margarito beatdown. So I believe this is just all Manny Pacquiao, who now has 3 straight wins, think about it, over Oscar De La Hoya, Ricky Hatton, and now Miguel Cotto.
What difference was Pacquiao's speed in this one?
His speed is everything. And, again, early on, it looked like in a straight boxing match, it'd be all Miguel Cotto. Cotto is not slow. He's methodical. He picks his spots. But Pacquiao just hits you with shots you don't see, and from angles you're not used to. He's kind of intuitive. He's well-trained. He's well-schooled, but he's also intuitive and will just sling all sorts of shots. If you remember, terrible Tim Witherspoon was known for his overhand right hand where it would come over the top, where most guys are flashing it straight out. Most people aren't used to that. He also knocked him down with a right hand, which was surprising. So Pacquiao's the total package, and he had to bring so much energy and so much fury to make this not just his night and a win, but just to make things even early on in the fight. Again, for those who are watching now who didn't see the fight, it looked early like, wow, Cotto is what we expected from De La Hoya or Hatton, a guy who was too big and was going to push Manny Pacquiao, a much smaller man, around the ring.
Now, Pacquiao becomes boxing's first ever 7-division world champion. We showed the graphic to the folks at home. You're a veteran of a lot of fights. You've seen them come and go. Where would you place Pacquiao in boxing history so far?
He's an all-time great, and he's moving up the ladder on the pound-for-pound list. He's in the teens already. It sounded crazy. We had a discussion, Teddy Atlas and I, on Friday Night Fights, and I compared him to Alexis Arguello 2 or 3 fights ago. Arguello had moved up and had won 3 weight classes and was stopped actually by Aaron Pryor in an epic fight. Well, Pacquiao has moved from being a champion at 112 pounds and is now the legitimate champion at 140 and just beat either the best or the second best welterweight in the world. So it's epic. He's an all-time great, and who knows where it stops. This was a tremendous win. You could say things about Oscar De La Hoya. Well, he was dry. Well, Ricky Hatton was made to order, but I don't know what you can do in revisionist history to take away anything, which is, what happens in boxing from this night for Manny Pacquiao.
And BK, he just continues to keep moving up in weight. How far can he go?
I think this is it. I think he's comfortable at 140. Freddie Roach said any of these welterweights that he fights, and that was Shane Mosley, maybe even Floyd Mayweather in the future, which is the next big conversation, he's going to try to bring them down to 145, which is what they did tonight, or hopefully 143, 142. This is where he tops out. But it's pretty remarkable that he could be the best welterweight in the world after being basically a flyweight champion, a bantamweight champion, and a guy that I thought was kind of small for Marco Antonio Barrera at featherweight, 126 pounds. This is all-time stuff. This has not been done before.
The public seems to be clamoring for a Mayweather-Pacquiao showdown. Is that essentially the next step here?
Well, yes, but things are not that simple. You have to see what happens with Floyd. How does he feel about it? How does Freddie Roach feel about it? And Pacquiao. Freddie Roach and Pacquiao don't think they go in and mow down Floyd Mayweather. And Floyd, wants to negotiate. I don't know how comfortable he is negotiating with Bob Arum, his former promoter. There's bad feelings there. Arum promotes Manny Pacquiao. But there will be so much money at stake. And Floyd Mayweather, as he says, if it makes dollars, it makes makes sense. He could make so much more money fighting Manny Pacquiao than anyone else. This is the obvious move. How it happens, how easily it happens, we don't know.
But BK, do you really think, I mean, you've interviewed him several times, that Mayweather would have difficulties dealing with Arum, knowing that there is a lot at stake here?
Yes, that happens. It will be an impediment. And we also have to see, here's one thing to look at. What are the pay-per-view numbers for this fight? It's expected that this will be a very high number. Now, Floyd did very well against Juan Manuel Marquez, over 1 million buys, just over 1 million. That surprised me. This fight, let's say it's 1.4, a significantly higher number. I think at that point, Arum and the Pacquiao people will look for more than a 50-50 split. That will not go over well with Floyd Mayweather.
Either way, it's going to be a big payday for both fighters if it indeed happens at some point in time. As for Miguel Cotto, what happens to him?
Well, he earns a lot of respect again. Unfortunately, this is a second bad beatdown that he's suffered. And in fact, he took a bad beating against Josh Clottey. So it's really 3 fights where he's been damaged. So he's got to rejuvenate himself. As far as the marketplace, I mean, do you want to see this guy fight again? Yes, you do. He brings it. He's very pleasing. He's all action. So he's going to have a lot of options. It's a matter of him, getting healthy and clearing his head, because now this is another bad beating that he took.